if you're an ADA holder, it's tough times out there, everybody. It's tough times. Not because price is down, at least in my view, but because ADA, because it's down, because it's fizzling out at this part of the cycle, it's just getting the brunt of criticism. And that is what it is. I wanted to do this. It's going to be a laid back video, just kind of more of a conversation, just talking about my general mindset as it relates to ADA. So if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe, and let's just do this. I want to talk about where I am in terms of my mindset right now as it relates to Cardano. Last cycle, right off the bat, I just want to point this out. Last cycle, going into this red rectangle, the rectangle's kind of just showing you time frame perspective, where we are in regards to the Bitcoin halving, 2020 halving. Here's 2024 halving. Right now, it is down around 92%. This time last cycle was down around 97%. I am not saying that to be like, hey, look, it's doing 5% better than last cycle. I'm showing that because what's happening right now with not just ADA, but with altcoins, it's just to be anticipated in bear markets. Nothing out of the ordinary is happening. What's happening with Cardano on these charts is not out of the ordinary, and it does not signify weakness. I tweeted a little bit ago, I said, as Cardano price fizzles out towards its bottom, it's shocking to see how many people come to the conclusion that this signifies weakness. And in that conclusion that they're making, and we'll find out in a year or two, in that conclusion that they're making, that ADA is done, that it's weak, that, you know, there's all this other better stuff, I think they're missing the opportunity. And the same goes for people that are just sitting on the sidelines in terms of crypto. They're missing opportunity. They're way too short-sighted. And all it takes is to zoom out on a chart. ADA is doing exactly what it did last cycle. It's simple data. It's not difficult to see what's happening if you zoom out. What I'm doing right now in terms of data, cyclical kind of repetition of price is very similar to what I did in the last bear market. Not with Cardano, but what I did with Bitcoin and what I continue to do with Bitcoin. So this is a higher high, higher low macro story that's being told across all of crypto land. And ADA is a little piece of that. And so when I start digging into not only just the charts and the repetition of cycles and how altcoins outperform Bitcoin in bull markets, when I step outside of that and then I dig into the layers of Cardano and what's getting ready to happen on Cardano, we see what happened with Ethereum in the last cycle. Things just become very bullish for me. And it's all macro. It's all multi-year based. That's why I sit here through a bear market almost every day, just following these markets. It's not because I'm so curious what's going to happen in the immediate short-term future, but it's the macro story that's playing out. I enjoy tracking that. This is what it looks like on the ADA monthly chart. We are right on schedule, and there could be some downside in play. So what I want to talk about is kind of just the general sense of these charts and kind of how I'm watching everything and what I'm seeing right now. I want to actually go over here to ADA BTC because this is a big topic of conversation. There's this debate, and it's fine to be a debate. Everybody has different opinions, whether we're going to kind of revisit these lows that ADA has been at prior, years prior, or whether we're going to see some type of higher low support here. It could be in between, couldn't it? Meaning maybe we don't go this low. Maybe we come halfway down. Maybe ADA has another dip against BTC. Maybe it does see support. We're on a monthly chart right here, so it's tough to tell how this monthly candle will close. It still has 14 days, 2 hours left. Let's see what happens. A lot can change in a couple of weeks. But either way, that's a story worth tracking. But either way, this is what I want to show you on the ADA BTC chart, very similar to the USD chart that I just charted. And that is this. If we look at the red rectangles, just to give us an idea of where we are time frame in terms of cycles, this is kind of where we were last cycle, all the way down here in terms of the ADA BTC pair. So in just the picture of how ADA this time around at this part of the cycle is performing versus BTC, it is performing better. If we look at ADA BTC pair back here, and this was like December 2019 or so, and then we go to where ADA BTC is right now, we're looking at around 82% better performance than what it was doing back then. And if we go back to this USD chart, you can just kind of see ADA also on the USD chart performing better, right? It's right now 24 cents, and last cycle we were at like 3 to 4 cents at this time last cycle. Imagine that. Imagine that last bear market sitting here, and everybody's thinking ADA is over. And it's not. It's a very similar thing for me right now. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about it all, everybody, but that's 100% my opinion, and I'm quite confident about it. Now, the other thing I want to mention here is this. I want to pivot to the story that's being told on this chart because I've been tracking the story. The staking mechanism coming into play. Cardano has the best staking mechanism in all of crypto. It just does. You can't even argue that. The multi-asset ledger coming into play in the middle of the last bull market. Smart contracts, scalability. We've been tracking all of that. And now here we are, we're getting ready for the next Bitcoin halving, the next bull cycle all the way over here. And this is really, I mentioned this before, but I want to just touch on this as I talk about the broader look of ADA. And that's this. I tweeted earlier today. I said, ETH topped out around $100 billion in the 2017 bull run. If you want to look at the chart, this is what I'm talking about. $125 billion. That is what Ethereum topped out. And this was not that long ago, if you think about it. When this was happening, it's like 2018 or so. 2018, $125 billion market cap, and then Ethereum is falling. Guess what? This is just about what ADA did. I think just below $100 billion in the last cycle. You can see ADA is like a cycle behind Ethereum. Now, the fundamentals of it is where things become very interesting. And that's because if you look at an Ethereum chart, I think it was, I don't know exactly, it was somewhere in the bear market, Uniswap got launched, right? So we're talking about DeFi coming online on Ethereum in a bear market. It's just going down, but total value locked is starting to increase in this bear market. And it was just building for just a long time during the bear market. And then the bull market came and Ethereum went on to hit $546 billion. Now, if you look at the ADA chart, guess what? We had DeFi come online in, I think it was right around here. This was, I think, the beginning of 2022, I believe, was Sunday Swap, right? So DeFi coming online in this bear market. And we've not entered the next bull market yet for ADA. And I'm not saying it's going to hit $500 billion market cap exactly like Ethereum, right? It didn't hit 125 billion here. It hit just under 100 billion. So it underperformed in terms of market cap versus Ethereum, but it got close. And I think it's 100% in play to say, because DeFi is now here and the foundation has been built and it's continuing to explode right now, because of that, ADA very much could perform so well. Maybe not 500 billion, maybe 500 billion, but even a $350 billion market cap is a $10 ADA. So the reason I'm saying that total value lock and DeFi is exploding right now is because if you go over and you look at DeFi Llama, you can just see, look at ADA on the total value locked and DeFi. It is hovering at all-time high areas. And if we go and we click something like Ethereum, check it out. What is Ethereum doing? And this is in ETH terms, by the way, because we were just looking at ADA terms. Ethereum has been falling. So this shows you fundamentally how prepped and primed Cardano is. And I'm just summing all of this up. This is a very just macro talk, macro look type of video. I'm summing all of this up in the most simple, level-headed way because there is so much stuff on X, especially just posts about this chart, the ADA BTC chart. Look at it just bleeding against BTC. And it looks so, it just looks so negative when at the end of the day, if you just take a zoomed out look at this, not just what's happening in the short to midterm, but a zoomed out look at this chart, we're nearing the end of this massive consolidation. And yeah, maybe there's some downside, but my question for myself is consistently, am I ready for what's next after the Bitcoin halving in the spring of 2024, which is basically the end of this red box? Am I ready for what's after that in terms of altcoins? Because if you go, and I need to still do a video on this, if you go to a Bitcoin dominance chart, the Bitcoin dominance era that it's been in this cycle around, we have these nice little gains on the monthly. It's coming to an end. I realize that it's up and up and up in months prior, but it's coming to an end. This is a picture of bull markets, this green rectangle. This is the last bull market in this green rectangle. 2020, 2021. Here is the green rectangle of 2017, 2016 to 17. Look at Bitcoin dominance in a bull market. It gets destroyed. And even now in this era of higher highs and higher lows, even now at this time of the cycle, it's underperforming where Bitcoin dominance was at previous cycles. So if you look at the red box right here, it was way higher, around 70% at this time last cycle. And if you look at prior to the 2016 halving, it was all the way up here around in the 90% area. So Bitcoin dominance is falling in the macro. I'm not concerned with the short term or even the midterm, everybody. It's a longer term story. And Bitcoin dominance doesn't have a dominant story being told on the macro. And I want to do a video on that, but that's just my thoughts. And so that plays very much into what happens on the ADA charts and what happens on this monthly chart as we prepare for the next halving. And I know a lot of this I kind of say intertwined into my analysis videos. A lot of this I say about ADA, but I wanted to put it all together in a very simple video to kind of maybe just vent a little bit, because all I'm seeing is how ADA is doing so bad. But in general, in my view, because I'm a long-term thinker, I'm a long-term macro value investor and I see what ADA is built, what Cardano is building, I just wanted to put this out there, this thought out there, what I see on the macro. Could I be wrong about it all? Yeah, but that's why I manage my risks. And I always encourage all of you to manage your risks. I always say crypto could just go to zero. We could lose it all. So I have that in my mind as I'm investing, as I'm deciding to hold for years, right? As I'm playing this game, it's always on my mind. It could all go to zero. And I consider that. And I think everybody should. This is just the way that I see these charts. It's just the way that I see this space. And I wanted to share it with you. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. I hope you're doing well out there. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Turn the notifications on. Hit the like button. Your support means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.